From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Podscribe.
You're watching TBPN.
We are live from the TBPN Ultradome, the Temple of Technology, the Fortress of Finance, the capital of capital. We have some huge news. This is from the OpenAI blog. OpenAI acquires TBPN, accelerating the global conversation about AI.
OpenAI has bought the TBPN podcast, according to the Wall Street Journal, and according to TBPN, as you've just heard, the Financial Times says the purchase price is in the low hundreds of millions. And if true, it's likely that this is one of the biggest deals for a podcast in the medium's history. Joe Rogan's renewal at Spotify being $250 million in 2024. TBPN has 11 staff, around 70,000 viewers per daily episode, and is reported to generate $30 million in revenue this year. It'll remain editorially independent, the show says in a statement. Newsletter platform Beehive has launched a full podcast hosting platform. It contains full transcripts, distributes to Apple, Spotify and more, and comes with a full website. Analytics are built to IAB standards, and you can bundle your podcast to paying subscribers to your newsletter. Beehive will take no additional fees. CEO Tyler Denk recently shared that Q1 2026 was Beehive's best quarter in history. We have a full review with him on the Pod News Weekly Review this week. You can find the Pod News Weekly Review wherever you got this podcast. A number of shows have also moved over to Beehive with the launch, including Tasteland, Women'splain and AI Report. And we've also learned that Beehive is to hire a head of podcasts. Red Seat Ventures has launched its own invitation-only podcast hosting company called Speakeasy. It offers hosting, ad-supported monetization, AI-powered analytics, and support for RSS, HLS, and video. It also integrates Supercast, the membership platform acquired in February. The podcast show in London has announced a new set of speakers. The event is in mid-May. We link to a discount today in our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. Podscribe unveiled its industry ranker for March, and in podcasts, Diary of a CEO is number one by downloads and views per episode. Crime Junkie reaches the most people. The Midas Touch podcast gets the most downloads a month. Spotify remains the top publisher, and BetterHelp is number one advertiser. And Spotify has published a report called The Sound On Era, promoting the advantage of audio. The company, which trumpeted video as the future as little as 2 years ago, described audio as actively engaging fans in ways visual formats cannot match. It says that while screens distract, audio accompanies, and highlights that podcasts are a medium rooted in audio. They say 90% of advertisers find multi-platform video and audio hybrids, that's ads that adapt based on screen focus, to be appealing. And it's good to see the company acknowledging this. Currently, when you upload a video podcast to Spotify, it makes the audio mix entirely unavailable to listeners, ensuring that no adaptation for audio is possible. In podcast news, with Airwave, History Dispatches covers people, places, events, and even objects from throughout history. The latest episode looks at a dark piece of Soviet history and a crime that continues to be hidden from many people. The Pod News Weekly Review this week talks with Tom Leone from Breakthrough about the company's attribution tools for advertisers and the CEO of Beehive. The new Director General of the BBC, Matt Britton, has somewhat surprisingly released a podcast, What We Don't Know, it's called. The first episode entitled Who is Matt Britton, with more than an hour of detail. It's apparently recorded before he got the job at the BBC, a role which includes intense public scrutiny. So we can tell you that doing the podcast, quote, fits into his gap year plan. Not sure whether that also is true of landing the job of Director General of the BBC. And we can also tell you that Matt Britton enjoys baking lemon drizzle cake. And no family has more unfathomable privilege, unbelievable scandal and unspeakable secrets than the British royals. In The Royalist, veteran royal correspondent Tom Sykes draws on decades of reporting to expose the rivalries, paranoia, power plays and media manipulations that define the modern royals, and how personality, privilege and fear drive decisions behind palace walls. I'm enjoying all of the alliteration here. You can can find out how the secret world of the palace really operates in The Royalist. It's a new weekly podcast. And this podcast is sponsored by Podscribe. Where did your run-of-network ads actually run? Podscribe's new air checks for run-of-network campaigns reveal real placements, brand safety signals, and competitive insights. You should see what's new at Podscribe. There's a link in our show notes to do that. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free and fill out the report card, we're at podnews.net.